The Houston Texans signed a second-round draft pick to what looked like a standard rookie contract. That simple piece of paperwork just triggered the biggest crisis the NFL has seen in decades. Wide receiver Jayden Higgins became the first player picked outside the first round in NFL history to receive a fully guaranteed contract. His $11.7 million deal over 4 years has created absolute chaos across the league. What happened next? Every other second-round draft pick now wants the same deal. And why shouldn't they? The Texans selected Higgins with the 34th overall pick in April's 2025 NFL Draft. On May 8th, they signed him to terms that shattered every precedent in professional football. The Texans' contract with Jayden Higgins has completely disrupted signing prospects like nothing we've seen in the history of the sport. NFL analyst Lance Zierlein wrote on X, 30 of 32 are still unsigned, and we are coming up on actual camp. Those numbers tell the story. 30 of 32 second-round picks remain unsigned as training camps begin. The rookie signing process has ground to a complete halt. Only one other second-round pick has signed a contract. Cleveland Browns linebacker Carson Schwessinger, selected 33rd overall, inked a fully guaranteed $11.8 million deal the day after Higgins signed his contract. The irony? Both the Texans and Browns have other second-round picks who remain unsigned. Houston's offensive tackle Ariante Ursary sits at pick 48 without a contract. Cleveland's Quinshon Judkins faces the same situation. The 2011 rookie wage scale predetermined contract values by draft position. First-round picks receive full-curb expensive contracts for unproven rookies. Owners sought to eliminate the long training camp absences that complicated negotiations produced for years. Players agreed to this structure on one condition: the money teams saved on rookies would go toward veteran players under the salary cap system. For over a decade, this approach worked. Teams regularly signed rookies well ahead of training camp openings. Contract disputes causing camp absences became rare occurrences. The Higgins contract broke that entire system. Andrew Beaton of the Wall Street Journal explained the consequences in stark terms. It's consequential for two reasons. First, that is cash that a good chunk of players never wind up seeing. From 2011 to 2021, 87 of 349, 24.9% second-round picks were cut prior to the end of their fourth season, according to stats. Think about those numbers. Nearly 1 in 4 second-round picks never see their fourth-year money. Full guarantees protect players from that financial risk. Secondly, NFL deal-making typically relies on past precedent in contract negotiations, and this class of players appears set on creating a new one, Beaton wrote. Precedent drives everything in NFL negotiations. When norms shift, future deals change rapidly for everyone involved. The quarterback market provides the perfect example. Player A signs a record-breaking extension. A month later, Player B breaks that record by $500,000. The cycle repeats endlessly. Fully guaranteed contracts already exist for some veterans. Deshaun Watson signed one with the Browns. Kirk Cousins received guaranteed money from the Minnesota Vikings. Owners worried these deals would become standard practice. So far, they haven't spread widely. But second-round picks represent different territory entirely. Age Players Association watches the situation closely. We work alongside the players and their agents to help them secure the best deal possible, an NFLPA spokesperson told the Wall Street Journal. Our union is monitoring this situation closely. Teams face a bigger concern beyond individual contracts. Rules prevent unsigned players from attending team activities. Teams cannot fine them for missing practice. The Los Angeles Chargers experienced this reality firsthand. Second-round wide receiver Trey Harris never showed up to training camp. He remains in a holdout, presumably seeking a fully guaranteed contract. This represents the first widespread training camp disruption due to contract disputes in years. The rookie wage scale specifically aimed to prevent these exact situations. Jacob Robinson of The Athletic noted the legal protection unsigned players enjoy. Since these second-round picks lack contracts, they cannot be fined or otherwise disciplined for missing training camp. The question now becomes how deep into the second-round draft order the cutoff for fully guaranteed contracts will extend. Seattle Seahawks pick Nick Emenwari, represented by agent David Mulugeta, waits as the next player in line. General Manager Nick Caserio probably feels satisfaction watching his fellow executives scramble to fix this mess. His team created the problem, but they also secured their target player. Higgins brings impressive physical tools to Houston's offense. The 6'4" receiver from Iowa State received rave reviews from teammates and coaches during spring minicamp. The Texans needed weapons around quarterback C.J. Stroud. Their receiving core looked depleted by the end of last season. Higgins joins veteran addition Christian Kirk and established target Nico Collins. This combination could produce the most explosive passing attack of Stroud's young career. Houston begins training camp at their facility next to NRG Stadium on July 23rd. The first of 7 practices open to fans starts July 26th. Higgins won't take official snaps until Week 1 in September. Fans will see him on practice fields much sooner. The Browns face their own crisis beyond the Schlesinger contract situation. 4 quarterbacks compete for the starting position with no clear favorite emerging. Deshaun Watson continues rehabbing his Achilles injury from 2024. The $230 million quarterback's timeline remains uncertain. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shadur Sanders comprise the remaining options. None inspire confidence as a 17-game starter. Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski suggested a radical solution. If the Cleveland Browns are serious about winning this season, a Cousins acquisition remains on the table. Right now, the organization doesn't have a legitimate plan at the quarterback position. Kirk Cousins represents an intriguing possibility. The 36-year-old veteran feels misled by Atlanta's quarterback plans after the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. Certainly, if I had the information around free agency, it certainly would have affected my decision, Cousins said on Netflix's quarterback series. I had no reason to leave Minnesota with how much we loved it there if both teams are going to be drafting a quarterback high. Cousins completed 66.9% of his passes for 3,508 yards and 18 touchdowns despite injuries in 2024. He proved he can still perform at a starting level when healthy. A Cousins trade would devastate rookie quarterback Shadur Sanders. The high-profile rookie suffered an unprecedented slide to the 5th round of the 2025 draft. Neither Joe Flacco nor Kenny Pickett inspires a ton of confidence as a 17-game starter, and rookies Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders feel destined to sit on the bench for a year. For the win writer Corey Woodruff wrote, Sanders already faces long odds. Gabriel was drafted ahead of him. The Browns plan to cut at least one quarterback before finalizing their roster. A Cousins acquisition would likely end Sanders' chances in Cleveland. His NFL future could hang in the balance. This standoff represents more than contract negotiations. It's a rare moment when players attempt to overturn established precedent. The money involved isn't enormous by NFL standards. Early second-round picks often receive 3 years guaranteed with partial 4th-year protection already. But the principle matters enormously. The rookie pay system generally worked as intended for 14 years. Teams saved money on unproven players. Veterans received larger contracts. Training camp holdouts became historical footnotes. The Higgins contract destroyed that balance overnight. What started as Houston's bold move has altered the negotiating landscape for an entire draft tier. The standoff's resolution will set financial benchmarks lasting until the next collective bargaining agreement. Teams must balance individual contract management against precedent concerns. One guaranteed deal could trigger demands from hundreds of future draft picks. The NFL built its rookie system on predictability. Jayden Higgins eliminated that predictability with a single signature. 30 unsigned second-round picks prove the system's foundation has cracked. Training camps begin without key players. Negotiations remain frozen. The Texans changed everything with one contract. The league struggles to find solutions. This crisis will reshape how NFL teams approach rookie contracts for years to come.
That it's hard to always say that it could be deeper than that, but at the same time, it's not the depth. I mean, it's going to be hard to make cuts because we have so many great receivers that we could.
Patrick Mahomes finally speaking out after that brutal Super Bowl loss. But guess what? He's not chasing revenge. Instead, he's plotting something smarter, something scarier for opponents. This isn't about hot takes or dramatic headlines. It's about raw focus, renewed joy, and an entire offense ready to shine. The question isn't whether Mahomes will bounce back, it's how high he'll soar without the chin music. February 9th, 2025, Super Bowl 59 ended with the Eagles beating the Chiefs 40-22 in New Orleans. A blowout like that leaves more than a loss. It leaves a bitter aftertaste that lingers. Mahomes, known for his poise and leadership, had one of the most difficult games of his career. He was sacked 6 times, struggled to find a rhythm, and never quite looked like himself. In the post-game press conference, he didn't make excuses. He owned up to the loss, saying, I didn't think I played to my standard, just with especially the struggles that I had earlier in the season. There's things I have to get better at, and they kind of showed today on the biggest stage. He even took to social media to apologize to Chiefs Kingdom, admitting he felt like he let everyone down. That moment marked a shift in tone, a recognition that even Mahomes, the generational talent, needed to evolve. In early July, Mahomes sat down with Kay Adams on Up and Adams. When asked about the Super Bowl loss and whether he was motivated by revenge, his answer surprised many.
I'm honestly just ready to play football again. Whenever you lose, you kind of have this taste in your mouth that you want to go out there and revenge that or whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk, and I'm like, let's just play football and just handle it all out there. And I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to go out and show who we are as a Kansas City Chiefs.
It wasn't anger, it wasn't vengeance, it was clarity. He made it clear that his focus is on execution and proving himself through action, not words. For Mahomes, it's about moving forward with intention, not dwelling on past failures. That mindset sets the tone for the entire team. Criticism of the Chiefs' offense intensified after the Super Bowl loss. Many analysts pointed fingers at the wide receiver group, calling them underwhelming, inconsistent, and lacking chemistry. Mahomes has heard it all.
Revenge that or whatever you want to say, but at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk.
But instead of clapping back, he chose silence and a plan. His belief? Let the results do the talking. Mahomes isn't interested in media wars or sound bites. He's interested in touchdowns, wins, and another Lombardi trophy. That's the kind of quiet confidence that makes opponents nervous. This year's WR room might be the deepest Mahomes has ever had. Rashee Rice is healthy again and eager to take the leap. Hollywood Brown, signed in the offseason, brings speed and veteran presence. Xavier Worthy, the rookie burner, adds pure explosiveness. But the real strength lies in numbers. Sky Moore, Justin Ross, Tyquan Thornton, and rookies like Jalen Royals and Elijah Badger are fighting for roster spots. Mahomes said it himself.
It's going to be hard to make cuts because we have so many great receivers that we could be 8, 9 deep, the guys I can see making the roster. And that's what you want. You want competition. And we have that. Brett Veach, Coach Reed have done a great job of bringing guys in, and they've been competing, and we're excited to get to St. Joe, Missouri, and go out there and compete and showcase who we are.
This group may not have a clear number, 1, but Mahomes doesn't see that as a weakness. He sees it as a strategic advantage. A diverse WR core means defenses can't key in on one guy. Every play can go to someone different. The 2024 season felt different. Mahomes described it as joyless at times.
It's always been fun playing on the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's what makes it special. And I feel like last year, I don't want to say it was pressure, but guys wanted to go out there and win every single week, not for the fun of the game, just because we're supposed to. Let's go out there and have fun. I mean, the wins will come if we play the way that we know we can play. We have the talent, we have the coaches, we work harder than anybody in the NFL. So let's go out there and have fun and let the results handle themselves.
That lack of joy translated into tight, uninspired play. This year, he wants to bring the fun back, to enjoy the grind again. And Andy Reid is right there with him. The legendary head coach has been emphasizing culture, reminding players that when you love the game, the wins come naturally. This change in tone has been noticed throughout the locker room. Young players are energized, veterans feel reinvigorated, and Mahomes more than anyone seems at peace with the process. Mahomes is also growing off the field. His connection with Tom Brady has become a valuable mentorship. Mahomes recently revealed that he's had deep conversations with Brady about longevity, leadership, and handling adversity. Brady, now a minority owner with the Raiders, still took the time to help Mahomes.
And I've actually talked to Tom a good amount this offseason, and it's cool that he wants to give me advice. He didn't have to be like that. He's such a good dude, and I have so much respect for him, and I'll take any advice he gives me.
That kind of insight from the GOAT himself is priceless, especially for a quarterback entering his 8th season with sky-high expectations. Travis Kelce is still around, but his future is uncertain. He's entering the final year of his contract and has openly said he'll see how he feels after this season. Mahomes and Kelce have built one of the most iconic QB-TE duos in NFL history, and the possibility of this being their last ride together adds urgency. Kelce remains a dominant weapon, but age is creeping in. That's why Mahomes is determined to make this year count, not just for stats or trophies, but for legacy and loyalty. With all this optimism, Mahomes isn't sugarcoating what's coming next. Hard work. Andy Reid has warned the WRs to get ready, famously telling them, "When you come back, get your hamstrings ready." This camp will test endurance, precision, and mental toughness. With so much competition for spots, every rep matters. Mahomes is locked in, pushing the offense to tighten roots, improve timing, and develop chemistry before the season opener. Behind the scenes, the Chiefs are exploring something big, a domed stadium. This would mean turf, no weather issues, and a faster game environment, exactly what Mahomes and his speedsters thrive on. In college, Mahomes lit up defenses on turf at Texas Tech. Bringing that same formula to the NFL could be game-changing. Imagine Xavier Worthy on turf or Hollywood Brown cutting on a dime. The speed would be overwhelming. A dome could give the Chiefs a new home field advantage, one built on precision, speed, and high-octane offense. Despite a down year statistically, Mahomes was voted the NFL's top quarterback by AP writers heading into 2025. That says everything about the respect he commands. The Chiefs kick off their season on September 5th against the Chargers, a perfect test to see how this offense performs under pressure. With big games against the Eagles and Bills later in the season, the storylines are rich. But more than anything, this year is about redemption without revenge, growth without gimmicks, and excellence without ego. So here's the bottom line. No revenge tour, no sweeping hype, just a quarterback laser-focused, an offense stacked with weapons, a coach obsessed with joy and grind, and a potential dome whispering, fast and unstoppable. That's the recipe for Chiefs Kingdom's next chapter. Quiet, confident, and armed with everything needed to rewrite the narrative. Is Mahomes' new no-noise strategy enough to bring the Chiefs back to the top? Can this offense outshine the last great one? Let me know your take in the comments, smash like if you believe, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns all season long.
What did he? What's up? What? What's up? But still I can't afford to let these niggas stay close, stay close. God. Open the left. Keep the left forward. Like a song to lifting. I got a couple pairs for now. What's that? Need a new safe cause I'm running out of this bitch all of my photographs. Right. Everybody running things. You hit a motherfucker. Hey, I was just talking. Right. What is? What's that? Right.
Why is one of college football's biggest stars stuck at the bottom in Cleveland? Shadur Sanders ran up a hill in Miami, sending a message to the league. But back with the Browns, he's not even getting first-team reps. Fans are furious. Insiders are warning he could be cut. And rumors of another quarterback draft pick in 2026 have people asking what is really going on with Shadur Sanders. Every quarterback in Cleveland's camp has a chip on their shoulder. Yet for Shadur, it's more than just proving his arm. It's about proving himself. Drafted in the 5th round at number 144. 4 months after being projected as a first-rounder, Sanders landed amid a quarterback logjam. 5 signal callers drafted or acquired in one offseason.